Welcome to the FTA catch-up on Victor Neckband Pro Plus controller. 1 week later. I wanted to thank Victor for sending the Neckband Pro just in time to allow me check in some of the gaming capabilities of the Neckband Pro. I've been using the Victor Neckband Pro for mobile and PC gaming for a few days and wanted to share how my experience has been so far. Spacewalker and Android mode. I didn't seriously consider the Neckband 1 or the Neckband first generation for gaming, probably because I expected that different apps could end up being resource hungry and affect the overall performance. The question is, any difference with the Neckband Pro? The short answer is yes, in some areas. It is important to highlight that the Neckband Pro, it is not a flagship gaming phone, but rather a device that works as a bridge between your Steam Deck, gaming PC or console to offer remote play with a big screen with no cables for the time the battery lasts. More on that later. The RAM available have jumped from 2GB available from the Neckband 1 or first generation to 8GB or 12GB for the Neckband Pro. The performance improvement is clear, particularly using the 12GB RAM version. Also, along with this, there's the introduction of the Spacewalker mode and the Android mode. Spacewalker mode allows smooth follow and pin mode at the expense of slower performance, but this slower performance is mostly seen when using games from the Neckband as opposed to playing games via Steam Link or other method of remote play. Android mode is the native Android mode you would see when you plug the glasses directly to your Android tablet or phone. It does not offer smooth follow nor pin mode, but it makes available a bit more resources to allow games playing more smoothly. Game controllers. Apart from the Victor 8-bit DO Ultimate C Bluetooth controller, the Neckband Pro is compatible with most popular Bluetooth controllers such as the Xbox or other models of the 8-bit DO controllers. Something that helps making the navigation easier with gaming is the shortcut LB plus RB on Xbox controllers, or its equivalent on other controllers such as the L1 plus R1 on the DualSense controller. This combination makes it easier swapping between navigating the games with the cursor or navigating as if it was a console. During the tests, I noticed that some controllers like the 8-bit DO Ultimate with Hall Effect joystick does not allow switching modes when pressing LB plus RB, but it does work fine if you connect another compatible joystick simultaneously. This looks like a bug to me. As you can see here, these kind of issues seem to indicate that the mobile games ecosystem needs to mature to allow game controllers do precisely that, control the games without having to partially rely on moving the cursor or tapping the screen. Mobile games. Despite the Neckband not being a gaming phone, I've tested installing the game as you would from the Android tablet. I've tested this with 3 controllers, the Victor 8-bit DO Ultimate, the Xbox controller, and the 8-bit DO Hall Effect joystick controller. Something you need to be aware of if you don't know yet is that most of the games require using a joystick control as if it was a mouse cursor to navigate around the UI, and then you can swap to controller mode when playing a video game. Call of Duty Mobile is one of those few games that will show you the buttons corresponding to your controller, which is nice to see. The main issue I had is that trying to play with high quality was possible but not acceptable. Only 24.9 FPS made the experience poor. Interestingly, there wasn't much difference between Android mode and Spacewalker mode. There were sometimes 26 FPS in Android mode, but the experience still wasn't ideal to me. Another game I tried was Metal Storm with ultra quality, which I know is something we might want to change to help the game run faster. But then I thought, if I wanted to see a game on a big screen, then maybe I want to see it with the best quality I can, right? So for this game, there was a relevant difference between playing the game in Android mode versus playing the game in Spacewalker mode. Spacewalker mode had an average of 27 FPS, which wasn't enough to play comfortably, but Android mode worked really well with around 44-45 FPS average, which made the game totally playable and enjoyable. In terms of the controller, it worked well with the Xbox 8-bit DO Ultimate Hall Effect joystick controller, but it was only partially compatible with the Victor AB-Do controller. It wasn't possible to accelerate or brake. Not sure if this is rather niche with the game, not recognizing the controllers properly, something that Call of Duty has clearly spent more time with to ensure compatibility with a wide variety of controllers, or is rather something really associated to the neckband. To me, it seems to be something related to the game. Steam Link. If you're watching this, you probably know what Steam Link does, but if you don't, then I can summarize it as an app that allows you to stream games from your PC, Legion Go, ROG Ally or Steam Deck to your Android device. In this case, it allows you visualizing a game running on one of those devices directly to your neckband by using your local Wi-Fi network. I played Mortal Kombat 1 with the Vicha AB-Do Ultimate Controller and the experience was great and even better than I expected. I did notice that when the local network was busy, the quality was temporarily reduced, but it seemed to self-recover quickly. During that period, I didn't observe the games being slow to the point of being unplayable. The main disadvantage I felt was the usual problem when devices are wireless: battery life. So let's talk about it. Battery life. The battery capacity hasn't changed between the neckbands and the neckband Pro, so the battery life would depend on how well optimized the apps and games are for running from the neckband Pro and how much more or less power the new components will require. During the tests for gaming, I observed that the battery lasted around an hour and 40 minutes to go from 100 to 0%. You do get a warning letting you know that you should charge your neckband Pro, and I would advise not to get distracted too much enjoying the Steam Link game because it will switch off and leave the game running after you have received the warning. This is expected but something to take into account. If you would like me to test any other mobile or Steam Link game, please let me know in the comments. This is all for now. Thank you for watching and see you later.